If y'all are not in literal high school, baby, wrap it up. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Simone Nicole here, and we got a lot of tea to get into. But first, logistically, look at my new background, my new setup. Do we like? It's of course not done yet, but I think that she's so cute. And so sorry that y'all can see my mic. I'm praying that I have good audio. Otherwise, we're gonna have to use the camera audio. I'm sad that y'all can see the mic, but I would rather y'all have good audio and be able to see the mic than have bad audio. Today, I'm going to be doing my makeup and answering some of you guys' questions that you would like advice on. You know, big sister, big cousin things. So without further ado, let's hop into the drama because I was reading through these responses like, God dog. Very first question. My ex owes me money and keeps wanting to hang out. Your ex and you hanging out? Okay. I don't want to, but I feel like I have to keep the lines of communication open in order to get my money back. It's $2,900. We hang out and he throws money at his budget. I don't know if he meant to say that. And he throws money at his budget, but I'm tired of seeing him. Should I just cut my losses and move on? Thanks. Friend, I do fear I might have an unpopular opinion on this question, but I'm gonna tell you to cut your losses and go. There will always be a reason to stick around with an ex. And it could be very well too that he also realizes that he owes you that money and it's a way to keep you around and keep access to you. Now, I'm going to say to leave it alone because if he's your ex for a reason, right? I just don't think that it is productive to have an ex in your life for any reason, honestly. I am not a person that believes that you can be friends with your ex. That's me, because I think that it hinders your ability to move forward and be in a new relationship. I feel like true friendship is like intimacy and being able to talk about anything. So when exes claim that they're friends, but then they can't talk about the people that they're dating out of fear of upsetting or making a situation uncomfortable, well, then that's not your friend, because you wouldn't consider a girl like one of your girlfriends, or just if you date the same sex, and I guess it would be the same sex too, but as a heterosexual woman, I would think it's weird if I can't talk to my girlfriend about the guy that I'm dating. And that's how true friendship is built. It's built through intimacy and honesty. So all of that to say, I'm gonna say chalk the money. I guess like y'all let me know down in the comment section. And also I forgot to preface this at the top of the video. We will not be mean, rude, anything like that to anybody who came forward and was asking for advice. That's not the vibe here on this channel, okay? So if you have another opinion, please feel free to leave it down below for your fellow girl that's a part of this community. Someone else might disagree with me because I know people get real funny about money. I'm gonna say to chalk it, girlfriend. That's a lot of money. But I'm gonna say to chalk it because it's going to finally sever that tie between you and your ex, and that's what sounds like is more of a priority. But I know times is hard and that's a lot of money. But that's what I'm gonna go with. That's what I'm gonna go with. Just chalk it, just chalk it. Okay, I did just go and pop on a lash, even though we are literally chilling in the house this evening. But you know, a lash always looks cute. Let's move on to the next story. I have an ex-F-buddy situation. Me and this guy have been dating for a year. A week ago, after having sex, he went through my phone while I was in the bathroom and found a picture of one of my guy friends shirtless on our messages, not in my camera. This picture was meant to be posted, and most of my guy friends go to the gym and take progress pictures, so I didn't think much of it. My boyfriend, girl, your boyfriend, because the last time I checked, it was a situation. You know what? Okay. My boyfriend accused me of cheating and broke up with me. He told all of his friends and blocked me on Insta, and I get that he feels betrayed and insecure, but I don't know how I cheated. You didn't cheat because that's not your boyfriend. Now he still texts me privately, but when I hold his hand, he doesn't want to, but he still likes to have sex with me, so it's confusing. I still want to have sex with him because of course I like it, but I'm hoping to get back together. I know the situation is weird, so I wanted your opinion on what I should do. Girl, please. This is girl. Many of us have been here. at some point in our lives in hoping that a situationship will blossom into something else. There's a lot of other elements here as well. This is very, very toxic. Why is this person going through your phone? They're not your partner. And even if they were, I don't believe in the whole going through phones thing. That's not my gig. Never has been, never will be. Sorry, this is my first time using this foundation. And I don't know what shade I am because I have 2 shades here. But that one looks like real close. Yeah, we're gonna go with this one. That one looks really good. I'm excited to try this. This is my first time trying this Urban Decay Bond. What is this? Urban Decay Face Bond Foundation. You know the girls went crazy over this on TikTok a few months back. So I'm real late to the game, but here we are, child. That is nice. That's kind of cute, y'all. Okay, anywho. Yeah, there's a lot of elements here that are wrong. This is very, very toxic. Y'all are pretending and like behaving like you're in a relationship when you're not. And I know that that's super duper normalized. And like I said, I cannot emphasize enough, this is not me judging you. All I'll say is that someone will get hurt eventually because there is something about a person that will not declare their love for you clearly, concisely, and let you know that they want to be with you and that they want a relationship with you. The fact that he is content to have sex with you and nothing else is a huge red flag. Like, of course he wants to continue to have your body and not commit to you. And then like what, trying to isolate you. And how young are y'all? Because y'all sound young. Y'all better be young. Y'all better not be adults. This better not be a grown man. This behavior, I could maybe accept this up until the age of about 18. If y'all are not in literal high school, baby, wrap it up. But I mean, it is easier said than done to leave a situationship because it's actually scientifically, I don't want to say scientifically proven because that's a drag and I saw one TikTok one time and now I'm saying this. But according to this TikTok and this doctor, it is proven that situationships are actually harder to get over because of like the endorphin releases that happens in your brain when you're in a situationship as opposed to a stable, everyday, happy relationship. So that's why there's such a beast to get over. But I just need you to hear me when I say that if you continue down this path of letting this man have your body, don't even want to hold your hand in public, but want to lay down with you, no, you're nobody's secret. Get that man up because it's not going to get better from here. Situationships so rarely turn into full-blown relationships because the situationship is just easier. It's non-committal. We all know. So if you want to keep on messing with this man solely because of sex, that's one thing. But you need to be real with yourself and ask yourself, are you just saying that as an excuse to continue to have any form of a relationship with this man? Because I think that you probably are. So all that to say, go ahead and leave that man alone right now. Hey Simone, how can I stop seeking so much validation from men? I am always on the watch out to see if any men are looking at me and it's draining. How can I exist without relying so much on male validation? I love you and thank you so much. I love you too, girlfriend. A lot of women struggle with this, but the first step is that you actually recognize that you struggle with it. Because not even just a lot of women, let me rephrase that. I think people struggle with male validation. And my hot take is that I was talking to somebody who we were having the conversation of who men dress or who women dress for. The person I was talking to said, I think that women dress for each other and for themselves, and I think that men dress for other men. I 110,000% agree. I think that there is this narrative that women are like man obsessed with what other men think, but I truly feel like because of the way our society is set up, we kind of skew everything towards what a man feels and thinks, including other men, without consciously knowing it. So I say all that to say, it is so easy to do in our society to get wrapped up in what men think. And you are very correct. It is exhausting. Oh, I start setting and didn't even do my liquid blush. God dog. And I wanted to try a new one. We're just gonna ignore that I started setting. We're just gonna ignore that. I'm trying this new About Face blush. It's brown. And I think that's a really pretty concept. So I wanted to try her. Yeah, that's really pretty and subtle. Let me know if you see anything. I think it's cute. I get what they were going for. It just might not be like the best for my skin tone. So I'm gonna go over it with some nice and bright. Anywho, it's very, very easy to get caught up in male validation and to center your life around what men think about you. How to get out of it? It really has to be an inner journey of starting to figure out what makes you happy. It's not that you're just looking for male validation, it's that you're looking for any validation outside of your own. That's what we really need to get to, because honestly, getting over male validation is a lot easier than you would think once you unlock that thing inside of you, where you become the person whose opinion you care about the most. And when other people's opinions start to pale in comparison to what you think about yourself, that has a lot to do with just like inner work. And I'm finding that a lot of people struggle with identity and understanding how they really feel about a situation because they always have this thing in their hands at all times. And I love the internet, I do. And it's ironic what I'm about to say because I'm sitting here on the internet making a video about my opinion. But I think that the internet is just overrun with people's opinions constantly. And in that, it can be easy to latch on to other people's opinions and kind of forget how you feel. So then you just end up becoming like this talking head of just regurgitating things that you see online, and then all of a sudden you look up and realize that you don't really have like any real opinions or thoughts of your own, and because of that you are centering other people's opinions of you and looking to men to feel good about yourself. So it's really a deep internal reflection that you have to do, and I really wish that I could give you like a,
oh, just start dressing for the woman gaze.
You could start doing little stuff like that, but what it really is going to come down to is you starting to do the work of understanding who you are. What do you like about yourself? What do you value? What do you like about yourself outside of how you look? And then once you start to do those answers, it'll become way easier to stop giving a damn about not just what men think about you, but people in general. Now let's actually set down this face because we real good and shiny right now, but it's gonna come together. Hey Simone, I am in my 20s and at the point where my self-esteem has been affected post-graduate school. I will admit that college gave me a boost of confidence because I relied on my intelligence and was surrounded by smart friends who were aspirational, doctors, dentists, etc. I moved back home and now I feel like I am a loser with a low-paying job. Maybe I'm stuck in the glory days, but I can't help but feel like I've given up on myself, how I'm wasting time, and how I'm afraid that I'll be relegated to a life of mediocrity. Girl, this spiral real quick. This outside of my brain too, child. I've accepted that I don't need the title of lawyer or doctor, but I can't find value in myself where I am in my life. Okay, I loved this question because I don't know how much better this is gonna make you feel, sister, but I am here to tell you that if you don't fix this mindset, you will never feel good about your accomplishments. And I'm saying that as someone that has gone on a really beautiful and wonderful journey for the past year. And if y'all could understand and see the opportunities that I get and how instantly desensitized I am to them, because I'm thinking like, okay, that's cool, but like what's next? Or like, okay, I achieved this thing, but I mean, honestly, it could have been better and I actually could have gotten this thing, and it'll never stop. That's number one. Having a regular everyday job is nothing to be ashamed of or to think is like weird. I often think about the video that I made that actually ended up doing really well and I didn't expect it to. You're not poor, you're just basically you're on social media too much. Looking at other people's highlight reels, not just like people that you don't know, but also people that you know. Child, if you could be a fly on the wall in their living room and see what that husband that you think is just the best thing in the world really be saying to her behind closed doors. I think that it's really, really, really easy to start comparing yourself when you're looking at other people's highlight reels, or comparing yourself to a time in your past when you were a college student, and you should just look back at that time and say thank you to it, and then figure out how to move forward. Right now, it just kind of sounds like you don't know what your passion is. And one of my favorite quotes in the entire world, a football player said it, I don't remember his name. I'll pop it up on screen if I can find it. He said, if you want to find your purpose, then look in your pain. That resonated with me so deeply because that is how I feel about my YouTube channel. My pain was in the fact that I was bullied so badly about the way that I look. I never felt like I was good enough. I never felt like I was pretty enough. And once I gained that self-confidence, I got online with the intention of trying to help other women gain self-confidence in the way that they look. And that's my purpose. And that's how I'm sitting here right now. So it's possible that you just need to go through that. You need to go through this phase of like what feels boring and non-fulfilling. It's always okay to want more, but watch the way that you talk to yourself. You are not mediocre. You are not a loser. You are none of those things. You are clearly smart, driven, self-reflecting, all wonderful traits to have. And right now you are just in a moment where God wants you to look within and start to figure out and fix things, because there is so much more that you are called to do. And you need this moment of silence to reflect on and start the steps in fixing where this lack mindset for yourself and what you're capable of is coming from, because you need to get to the root of that before you can move on to greater. Okay, next case, Your Honor. I am 15 years old and in love with a 21-year-old. This is not eye roll to you. People say that I am mature for my age and that I don't look 15. I'm consistently assumed to be 18 plus. I've always been attracted to older men, and we're both liking each other, but not doing anything or saying anything too crazy. I need to bake. Give me 1 second before I respond. Let me choose my words very carefully. Upon further consideration, that man is a pedophile. And I'm saying this with all the love that I can muster up in my heart. I'm not saying this to be mean or judgy or hurtful, but I really got to give it to you straight. I can't even play with you and be like, let me hold your hand when I say this. No, that man is a pedophile. There is absolutely no reason for a 21-year-old man to be interested in a 15-year-old girl. As a young woman, I grew up with that. I saw my friends in high school in relationships with men that were old enough to buy us alcohol. And when I was younger, I used to think that it was so cool. Like, my friend has like this cool older boyfriend. It's not fucking cool. It's actually very, very creepy. And I really wish that I could like have my jokey face on and go ha 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 with y'all. I don't know when it happened. I don't know when you like become an adult. Cause I'm still in my 20s. I'm still young. It feels like I was just your age like 5 minutes ago. Because I was. Relative to life, I was your age about 5 minutes ago. I get angry because I think about that girl that thought that older men were cool and that I was so mature for being able to talk to older men. And I hate that our society like really hates young girls. Like, they hate girlhood and they paint being mature as this good thing. Like, no man has ever been like, I'm mature for my age. Like, that's like not really something that a man really wears as a badge of honor, as much as is put upon like women. Like, we're supposed to feel like it is such a high compliment to be, you look older, you look mature, you know, you don't look 15, you look 18. A lot of the time, the people that are saying that are the people that just want to feel better in their heads for sexualizing a child. Please don't buy into that. It breaks my heart that this is happening. And I know to you, it doesn't feel like this is a big deal because you're 15, and 15 doesn't feel young, especially like with the things that you might have gone through. You might feel wise beyond your years, but you are still a kid. This man has no business messing with you, and the fact that he is odd. And you'll see, like, when you turn 21 and you look at a 15-year-old, you will see why it's so weird that someone that age had any interest in you, because y'all have nothing in common. A 21-year-old is in college about to graduate and move into the real world. A 15-year-old just left middle school. I love you and I want the best for you, and I need you to get up and through and leave that man alone. Anyone that is that old willing to talk to you is a certified creep and a loser. Thank you. Hey sister, my question would be advice for young women / entrepreneurs, especially for money management, budgeting, and investing. I had a previous business that I started when I first moved to Georgia. I feel like God is now moving me towards a new career path, and that's kind of nerve-wracking because I poured so much into my current business, and that new path would include me getting more education, etc. Any advice on this topic would be greatly appreciated. I love you, girl. Keep doing what you are doing. You are such an inspiration. Thank you again. First question was, any advice for young women entrepreneurs, especially for money management, budgeting, and investing? So I don't know how many people find this interesting, but I personally hire out for everything. I am not an entrepreneur that is interested in like doing my P&Ls, meaning like my profit and loss statements. I am not a person that's interested in filing my own taxes. I am not a person that's interested in learning how to do stocks and bonds and how to invest in Roth IRAs and learning all those things. No. And as far as taxes and understanding like what's business expenses, what's this, what's that, that is all my accounting team. I'm looking into getting a financial advisor as well. This is not giving the color that I thought it would. Yeah, but there's a few financial advisors that I'm looking into working with because I want to start to look into property and just investing my money so that my money makes me money over time, because I don't want to be rich. I want to be wealthy, and I want to build generational wealth for myself, my family, and my future family. And I don't know how to do that. I would say that as your business grows, scale equally, and do not let the fact that other people around you or people just on like social media are getting money and then immediately getting a new car, moving into a high rise, and doing all these things. It is such a tough pill to swallow, knowing that you could do these things and that you're choosing not to for the benefit of something down the line. And you don't even know what. You just know that it is better for you to save this money than to go out and do other things with it. So that's my advice. Is I personally would prefer to pay people that know what they're talking about to help me take care of my business and to therefore scale my business. I am way more invested in investing and making sure that my money makes money and that this money is sustainable, because I just started making money a year ago. Hold on, let me do some setting spray, even though we're setting to go nowhere. Now, if you feel like you are being called to a new career, child, you better go. You better go where the Lord is calling you. I'm not gonna hold you, because until you obey, everything else will fall apart for you. I do fear that I completely lost my train of thought of what I was saying before, and obviously I've changed, because I was gonna do like 1 or 2 more questions and then run out the video, and I was like, well, since my SD card got full, that's why I stopped recording. Might as well just change now and just know that we're wrapping up the video. So if you feel called to this new path, I would definitely take it. It's never too late to pivot. I know that you're 25, and I am saying this to you as much as I'm saying it to myself. If you want to live a full, happy, fulfilled life, that means that we're going to be living until we're like, 90. So we haven't even lived half of our life yet. Like, there's so much to do, and pivoting and really figuring out what you're passionate about and what your real path is. No time to it but to do it, girl. So I hope that answered your question, because I feel like it was kind of like a 2-parter. This next one, advice for 24-year-olds going through a breakup and feeling lost, rejected, and lonely. I'm in school but still find myself comparing myself to others, and being dumped made my self-esteem plummet. This is so unbelievably relatable. Heartbreak is something treacherous, especially having a relationship ended not on your own terms. It's really tough, but I invite you to not let it be a hit to your self-esteem, and just let it be is what it is. Maybe you're in a relationship and your boyfriend just felt like y'all just aren't aligned. Like, you are a perfectly fine and good person, but y'all are just not aligned, and he couldn't see himself spending the rest of his life with you. Would you have rather that he continued to drag it on, and then y'all just stay together and live this mediocre life together, and then all of a sudden you on Reddit writing a story about how your husband been cheating on you behind your back for all these years, and one day he just came up with a second family and said he don't love you no more? I personally would rather take the heartbreak now. And there's nothing inherently wrong with a breakup. Nothing. It's just 2 people that didn't work out in their parting ways. So I invite you to change the way that you look at it, because when you attribute it to it being a bad thing and make it somehow about you and your self-worth, and like, what if you were more pretty or thinner or curvier or smarter, what, he would have stayed with you? Girl, you're not. You're none of the things that you just named. Like, you're not that thing. So what, like, when you really start to think about it like that, it's like, okay, well then what was I gonna do? Things end for a reason, and it's not a bad thing. So when you take the weight off of it and stop thinking about it like it's a personal failure that a relationship didn't work out, that'll fix the self-esteem part. And please don't feel lonely. Breakups are so universal. Heartbreak is the most universal human feeling that a person will go through in their life, and it builds character. Personally, I love a good breakup. I love when a woman gets broken up with and she just turned her life right on around. She's the skinniest, prettiest, plumpest, gymmest, healthiest eating. Like, she is the best thing to ever lay her legs on this earth. Lay her legs on this earth is absolutely insane to say. This is gonna be our last one. Hey girl, I want to get your advice on dating. I'm in my 20s and I have never dated before, but I want to so badly and sometimes feel lonely, but at the same time, I know my worth and my standards have remained the same. I just really want to know how I can seem approachable and available and how to attract the right person for me. I've been told men like experienced women, so I sometimes feel like I'm not enough because I never went through it. First of all, don't let what anybody else says dictate what you can or cannot have in a relationship. I think that online right now, we are very like fatigued of dating, so we're just constantly hearing these horror stories, because honestly horror stories and like drama get views and they get pushed in the algorithm, so we see them the most. But there is still real genuine love out there, love without struggle, hurt, cheating, lying, stealing, all of that. I was gonna say killing, but you know, not too much, not too much. And I hate when people tell others to lower their standards. I think a lot of the time it is a phrase that is used to make people feel small and to remind people that they cannot get what they want out of life, because inadvertently or underneath that, someone like you doesn't deserve that. And I hate that. I think that no matter who you are, no matter what you look like, you deserve the most out of life. So if you have standards, that's fine. But I do often, when I talk to women about dating, I just want everyone to be for real. And that's where I feel like the standard talk kind of comes into play, because I don't think that it's reasonable for, this isn't you, but I'm just throwing out a random scenario, for a 20-year-old woman that makes $30,000 a year, literally off of her little waitressing job while she in college, and she talking about she don't want to date no man that is making less than 6 figures a year, don't fly her out whenever she feel like it, buying her Chanel bags every other day. Like, Buki, you cannot make demands of a tax bracket that you are not in. So I feel like as long as we are keeping our standards realistic and putting them in things that are not materialistic, like, is this person good? Are they kind? Do they have morals? How do they treat their family? And if you're basing your standards in that, then you have no reason to lower your standards. I think that it is okay that you are not experienced, but being inexperienced as you get older can end up being tough, because people will take advantage of being inexperienced. Because that last sentence of you saying like, I've heard that men like women with experience, I'm like, according to the streets, I've been hearing the exact opposite, because people without experience don't have a gauge for what's normal and what's not. So it's easier to manipulate a person and a situation when you're new to the situation. You have no standards for like what things should be. It's going to take a lot of prayer, and specifically praying for discernment to know who is good for you, and not watching content or stories that are super duper salacious, but maybe watching a therapist content about like actual warning signs to look out for in someone that could potentially be manipulative or abusive. And then outside of that, as long as they are not hitting those markers, just relaxing and having fun. You attract what you are, for better, for worse. So if you find that you are attracting men that like aren't really your thing, it might mean that you need to change your environment. You got to think about the type of man that you want, and then think, where would he be? Where would he hang out? And then kind of put yourself in places like that, and kind of date and be uncomfortable. In this day and age, this social media day and age, this everybody work from home day and age, you kind of got to get after it. So I know that was a lot. Dating is tough, but it is not impossible. And your husband is still out there. I promise. You just might have to dig a little. And that is going to bring us to the end of today's video. I hope that y'all enjoyed. Sorry about the title being so clickbaity, but I had to get y'all in here, because when I be doing these sit down videos, it kind of depends. Sometimes y'all show up and y'all are like in people business, but I just had to make sure that the girls came here, because it's a lot that was discussed, a lot of life topics that we hit on. So hopefully y'all enjoyed. And if I answered your question, shout out. But if you identified with the question and felt helped by any of the advice, make sure that you leave a comment down below to let me know some of your thoughts. And then if you have any thoughts on some of the questions posed, leave that down below, but be respectful. And that's gonna be all for today. I'm so happy to be sitting back down. I'm ready to give y'all a sit down, like, think piece video. We are so overdue. I haven't done a single one this year because I've been working on redoing my office. So we're so overdue. And with all that being said, I hope that today was a good one and that y'all enjoyed it. And I will see y'all same time next week. I love y'all so much. Mwah. Bye guys.
Girl, I get the money with you, make you mine, oh. If you loving every night, you make you mad, oh. Now only